It's Monday night in February. It can only mean one thing. It's Poland and Estonia. Let's say hello to our panel. Hello, Donna.
Oh, hello again. It only feels like I was here like a few seconds ago.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday.
It does, doesn't it?
And
ready
hello,
for some
Elliot.
fun.
Hello, Elliot.
Hello, yes, after a weekend off, because last week I did 5 shows over the weekend, I'm back, 2 days was enough, I think. I'm back.
I did about 15 shows last weekend. And we have a very special super sub tonight. We have Martin from Let Me Be The One radio show. Hello, Martin.
Hello. Yes, you all saying it's a day and a week ago. I think it's a year ago, isn't it, since I was last doing one of these shows. I know I did the top 3, some of those, but there you go. I thought I'd step in before my radio, because my radio show's tomorrow night, so got tonight free. So there you go.
And what can we look forward to on your radio show tomorrow night, Martin?
Basically all the entries that were over the weekend, apart from Parg, who I can't find yet, and then some stuff from Melody Festival and Song for Captain, and some other bits and pieces. So
have you been spending a lot of time with the little bleep button?
Yes. There was a certain Maltese track that lost 6 words. So
we can't say the name of it. So let's get on with it. We are going all the way to Poland first, and it's the Polski Kwal Ifikaj.
Apologies to Polish people for that pronunciation.
No, it's the best I can do. They've participated 26 times, but they've never won. They've come last once. They've never got 0 points. They've reached the final 8 out of 18 times since 2004, and the best result was second in 1994. So the final was 11 participants. There was 11 participants in the final, and it was 100% public vote. So shall we have a look at 11-4?
I don't wanna lose my mind. I'm sorry, but only you can fix me. Oh.
Are you ready for this? I'll do my best. So in no particular order, that was Kuba Smajkowski with Pray, Crust, I don't know, with Tempo, Janusz Radek in Cosmic Mist, Mariam Kant, Hide,
No.
Tio, Mariam Kant with Hide.
No, Marion can't. She can't hide.
Oh, she can't hide. Oh, sorry, Mariam.
Yes.
I missed a dash off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Tio with it.
all over again.
I know. Tinsky with Miracle, Daria Marks, Let It Burn, and Sonia Maselik with Rumours. So let's go to Martin first. Did any of these stand out in particular to you?
Well, 2 did, because it's almost like we were seeing stars in their eyes, because we had the Polish Harry Styles and the Polish Sabrina Carpenter on. So that was a bonus. I mean, Krust came 4th, and I thought that they could have done a job overall, but I think it's probably would have been a throwback to was it Talia in 2019, sort of like the White Voice music. So it would have had an audience, but being quite specific. But I enjoyed that one. Cooper was all right, actually, the Harry Styles guy, and I can see why they got Tio in, because he was the one that came in as number 11 because he had to get him a work permit. So his was quite a decent performance, seeing it was only him plus the sort of dancer had this sort of nice split. Apart from that, I mean, Daria Marks, I was very surprised she was last because I had her sort of up near the top for the performance on the night. But yeah,
No, I'm not surprised that she was near the bottom at all, Martin. I wasn't a fan of her vocal style. Is the first thing I wrote.
No, yeah. So, but yeah, that was the main surprise for me. But I think in a way, the three that ended up as the top three probably were the deserved three on the night anyway.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Martin. You see, with Crust, it's Crust. It's all gone a bit Wicker Man.
It was that big furry hat.
Oh no, the nests on the head.
Yeah.
She made them.
Yeah.
Because it was in English afterwards when they interviewed them. There was English translation, and she was thrilled to bits. And all her mates did everything else, but yeah, she thought they were like the best things in the world ever. But they were nests on her head.
Oh right.
Definitely. But with a bit of like plastic in it, like near us at the seaside, you get nests with bits of fishing line and stuff like that in it. It was a bit like that. But I just thought it spent too long to the unveiling of the dress thing, and then it was a bit of a letdown, the actual sort of floaty dressy bit. Elliot, what did you think of Crust?
Yeah, like I know there was a bit of talk about them going into it. I think because they say it was something a bit different, and it was kind of like in similar number one songs we'll talk about in a minute. It was that sort of say white. I think they literally call it like white noise or white voice. That style of singing. It's very indigenous to the southern part of Poland. But I think it was all a bit wacky, and I was distracted by the theatrics, everything going on around them, like the throne thing, like the thing in her head, and I was like, what is going on? So I said it's a bit like Wicker Man, like I thought someone was going to be sacrificed by the end of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't get that vibe of someone's going to get sacrificed.
Should have gone through if somebody was sacrificed. Should have gone through.
Maybe, but I think the EB would have been scared who the victim would have been in the semi-final and the final.
I just thought she's queen of the trees.
Yeah, why not? I mean, there's a kind of Fran Sandra to do. She queen of the trees.
Donna.
As for the others, I think.
No, let's let Donna have a go at Crust.
Hey Donna, Donna, Donna. Hey Donna, Donna. Hey Donna, Donna.
Well, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I had enough with Ian singing it last night. Oh dear, it's one of those things, isn't it? That is going to be a ringtone. I know it. But no, I think somebody missed the witchy memo was last year. But no, this was one of my favourites actually. I like a good witchy wail, and I love that kind of like big Wicker Man like straw dolly thing at the back that she was standing in front of.
They're never normally a good sign if you see one of those, Donna, to be fair.
But it gave it a bit of like central focus and theatrics around it, which we didn't really see a lot of prop wise in the whole thing. So it was a good way to start, I thought. It was a good bar to set for everyone else, and there was definitely nothing else like it in the whole show. So
Definitely wasn't.
No, but I enjoyed it. A different version of Gaia.
Oh, brilliant. Elliot, go on, you pick one and we'll discuss it.
I think that's the one I've got to pick out is Sonia, because it was just such a carbon copy of Sabrina Carpenter. Like the outfit of it all, it's just like you've literally seen her tour and use that as your reference point. And it was a nice little, inoffensive disco bop, but her voice didn't match her face, I noticed. And she had quite a nice voice, but then it didn't go anywhere. Like
Her
nothing
voice didn't match her
changed at all.
face.
Well, yeah, she's got some like sweet innocent voice. Then she had like this really deep, almost like soulful voice. And I was like, eh. But that's a problem. Like the melody didn't change, and nothing she did change. I was like, oh, I'm a bit bored now. And I was like, and that was something I was really like, oh, this could go somewhere. And the issue with the others, they all sounded quite similar to one another, even in that recap. They all sort of blended in. But say Kuba had a fantastic voice, so I thought maybe he could have, but they were all a bit one and the same, unfortunately. Apart from Tinsky, that was just, why was it all black and white? That looked miracle. That was just dirge and black and white and sequins, but not good sequins. It was just a bit weird.
This is it. You knew that top was shiny. Why is it in black and white? Well, we might as well just put a shirt on. It makes no difference.
It didn't even feel like it was a memory of Love Lost or anything like that. It was just like, well, we don't know how to stage this, so we'll give it some form of effect and see what happens.
That was
I've
the
got a question.
disappointment for me. That
Yeah.
one in particular, Tinsky. It was far better in the studio, and I thought it was going to be like a wow, but it didn't really happen at all.
Yeah, just waiting for the moment of boom, and it's going to raise it a little bit and be colour, and it just didn't. It just carried on. He's like, no, this is my vision, and I'm sticking with it. I've got a question. Who's Sabrina Carpenter? Is it what the youth are listening to?
Yeah, it's a youth thing, Michelle.
Fair enough.
I'll find out about it in 10 years then.
A lot of it was, or it seemed to me a bit to be Eurovision by numbers. You know, there were a lot of things that sounded like something we've heard before, which I always find disappointing because I want to hear something that sort of makes me go, oh, wow, you know.
It doesn't have to be wacky. It just has to have something
Yeah.
a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
And
even
although
the
we've got
ballad.
some really good vocals for a lot of them,
I did like
just, as you
Janos.
say, could be a bit.
Yeah, Giannis. I
Giannis.
like
Giannis.
Giannis.
Giannis
when
was
you saw
one I
the
was gonna
video, it was
mention.
what on earth is this? And yet on stage, it was like, yeah, I'm impressed with this. Not like top 3 impressed, but you know, he ended up 7th instead of my 11. So you thought, well, okay, not bad.
It sort of built up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it was sort of soft and quiet and floaty and dreamy. And then it just went, you turned it up to 11 and it just went boom. And he was like, oh, I thought I quite like this. Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was a
liked
nice
it.
dynamic moving away from the piano as well, and then lifting the vocal, and it was a good song to express his range. So, but the only thing that got me was actually how big his mouth was. I couldn't look at it.
I never noticed. How big was his mouth? Could he eat like a whole pie in one go?
Yeah. It was just, you know, when you see something and then you just can't unsee it. It was one of those moments. But I did really like the song.
That's something we're going to have to go back and have a look at and see how big is his mouth. Because I was looking at the piano. I always expect the piano to like they set it on flames or blow it up or it collapse or just something wacky with the piano. I just think pianos are distracting. Don't ever.
The thing what else is disappointing is that I've just looked and only 2 entries had non-Polish members on their songs, and one was the third placer. So you had a lot of in-house or in-nation, people working on it. But as you said, it all just sounded like everything we've heard from other countries. And I think that's a disappointing thing, that I think Poland think there is a formula to, or a lot of them think there is a certain formula to Eurovision, when, if anything, the last few years with Bambi, Kalia, Baby Lasagna, that the time is to be experimental is now, and it is such disappointing that TVP just went, oh, here's just a load of one of the same, bit of blandness.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I also thought, because they kicked off with Rimting Taggy Dim, didn't they? They were all there going mad at it. And I thought that's a brave move, because if your songs are shit, they're going to look extra shit now, because that's going to get everyone going. And if you can't carry on the momentum, you're sort of stuffed, aren't you? And I think they were sort of stuffed.
When Luxembourg's opener was Conchita Wurst singing Rise Like a Phoenix, I went, now the other 7, good luck. You've got to follow that.
Yeah.
Just why would you? It was
Why?
It was like Chewin when they dragged what's he called, Donna? My favourite one. I've had mine. Diodato. When they dragged Diodato out, and you just thought, why would you just show everybody up like that? It's just.
To be fair, though, it was the only chance he'd had to perform at Eurovision.
It was, yeah. It's a chance that I got to cry live to it. So, yeah, so I was happy about that. Anyway, should we have a look at the top 3?
Oh, hang on.
No, we won't. We will in a minute.
There we go.
So, darling, hold the light, hold the light, hold the light up above.
Święta woda zmywa przeznaczenie. They call me God.
Place number 1 is Justyna Styczkowska.
Dla formalności dodam, że to nie wszystko.
They call me God. I'm the love, I'm the life of all imagine.
So we'll start off with the third place, which was Dominic Dudek and Hold the Light. So let's go to Donna first. Do you think it was good enough for third?
It wasn't my third, but I can see why it got third. It was a nice ballad, well sung, and it got a good pace to it. The visuals were quite nice, starting again off with piano, and I think as well his backstory helped to that as well. That he's in a nice relationship now. He's going to be married soon, and it was all on Valentine's Day, and you're like, oh, let's give him some love.
No.
So yeah, it was all right, but I wouldn't have said it would be my third place.
I don't think I'm a fan of a bloke wearing a woolly hat at Eurovision.
So it's woolly hats and top knots now.
Well, you can have a top knot, but just keep it under your woolly hat. But no, why would you wear a woolly hat like that? It doesn't seem fancy enough.
Not even if he's got sequins.
No, well, I don't know, maybe a sequin one, yeah, that'd be all right. But this was just a plain bog standard sort of woolly hat, wasn't it? It wasn't anything fantastic. It was a dark staging again. There was so much dark staging. I think he sang it like he meant it, but it was never going anywhere. It was never.
It was, in my opinion, it was the best of the ballads, I think. I mean, I'm not a massive ballad fan anyway, but I think that was the best of the ballads.
But he did sing it like he meant it. I always like a ballad where they proper invest themselves in it. It's really good. Martin, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, he might just have a problem with his hair. Might have been a bad hair day. That might be why he had that on. Yeah, did he win The Voice or something in Poland? Is that where he's come from? I can't remember. So yeah,
Elliot, no.
So it seemed like an entry that you give to a Voice winner to sing. And yeah, I enjoyed it. And I thought, when I heard it in the studio version, first of all, I thought, oh, this is going to be really good. And then it sort of seemed to repeat itself twice, sort of go around in a big loop. And I thought, yeah, it's not going to win. But it was third. Yeah, I think it was decent enough. It's my fourth because I had Daria in my top three, but obviously she crashed and burned. Yeah, it was all right. And as a national final entry, it was a decent one. I mean, I'm sure Armenia would have loved to have had something in third place as good as that they had, because they had all sorts of problems. But yeah, I liked it. But yeah, third was probably about right.
Did you like it, Elliot?
I did. For what it's worth, it was a weird choice to close the show. I'd say it's odd to end on a ballad. This was actually wrote by Taya from Taya and Selena. She was heavily involved with it with her co-writer Tom Allaher. She's been very busy this national final season, bless her. So she's now got a second in Malta and a third in Poland, and she's wrote the Austrian song. So she's been very, very busy. Yeah, it's what he's done before. Like he tried in 2023 with a very similar song, came third. Eurovision is something he wants to do, but he is just your typical sad man ballad person. And it was a very dark staging to the point where you kind of forgot the dancers were there. And I was like, if your dancers are fading in, why have them? You don't. And he's gotten a good enough voice where he didn't really need them. It felt like they thought, oh, it needs something, when in reality it actually didn't. Like I said, it was a pleasant song, good enough, but I think especially in this semi-final, because they were in the first semi-final, you do need to do something that will stand out. And I just think your typical ballad, especially when you've got Slovenia with a ballad with a very, very strong singer and Clement behind it, it wasn't the right choice for this year, unfortunately.
Yeah. And second, we had, how do you think we pronounce this then? Oh, if it's like an at, do you say at?
I don't know.
Is it Swatda times Nixos? With Lusterka. Martin, how would you pronounce that on your radio show?
Well, I don't know. I think it is Svada, because I think the W's are V's, and Nixos. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was you got it there. I don't need to say it again because I'll get it wrong as well. I must admit, I thought this sounded as though it should have been in Vidbir rather than in Poland. It sounded like something that would have been in the Ukrainian national final, and it probably is similar because it's probably in the same sort of part of the world. So yeah, I liked it. It was obviously one of the fan favourites. It was probably the one that people thought might be the eventual winner in Poland. And yeah, it was a mix, and I don't know, it would have either hit the mark in Eurovision or it wouldn't have done anything. It was difficult to tell. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But I think for me personally, the winner was the right one, which we're obviously going to cover later. But yeah, I think this, deserved its. I was just looking at the screen I've got up here. It's got about 23-24% of the vote, which, not too shabby at all. But yeah, I think in the end, it's second was probably where it was going to be.
Thank you very much. You see, I loved this. I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The choreography was amazing. And I think this would have absolutely stuck out a mile at Eurovision. Donna, do you not think countries need to take a bit of a risk and send things like this?
Yes, but it depends how much of a risk you take and how much of a novelty it gets. So I think we're going to end up having this conversation later down the line.
Yeah.
It's a good balance, I think, this one, because for many years we've not really had rap sit comfortably in many Eurovision songs when they've been entered. So it's been trying to actually get some of that more modern genres into Eurovision without it sounding naff or, a bit too out there. And this, I think, would have been absolutely a really lovely balance. If it wasn't for the one who won, it would have been lovely to have it there. It's, again, not normally a style I'd be really into, but it immediately gave me Go A vibes in a different kind of way, her vocal and then that sort of fusion that they've got with I think he's got a Belarusian and a Colombian influence in the background. So there's lots of different musical interests that he brings to it there. Although I think he could have dressed up a little bit, just in the white top. Maybe he thought the sparkly face mask was, enough to go, oh yeah, I've come dressed up. If he's going to go dancing at the end, they need to dress him up a bit. But no, I thought it was a really nice balance. I thought the camera work in it was good. They worked with the audience really well. I loved the outfits as well. The kind of almost traditional influence on the bottom of the black suits and skirt. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a shame. We need more stuff like this. Go on, Phil.
Well, no, I liked it as well. I mean, it was sort of a little bit bonkers, but not crazy bonkers. There's obviously some artistic meaning behind it. The only thing I thought was in places the lyrics were a bit repetitive. It sort of repeated itself quite a bit. But yeah, this was definitely my second place as well, I think.
Oh, Elliot, was this your second place?
No, because this was my first place. I loved it.
Come on, Elliot.
And on the night, I was like, no, I want this to win because it was so cool. Like I said, you've got that fusion of the white voice again coming back in, and then say with the electronic folk, which is what he does. And he said there was a Belarusian influence because I've now read they've been blacklisted by the Belarusian government because they sang in the Polish dialect, and they're not too happy about it. So, oh well, they'll live. But yeah, this was really cool. It was such an interesting mix of old and new, and I think that's so cool and clever. Yeah, maybe he thought, the bedazzled face mask was enough, but get some of those sequins on your top next time. But yeah, this was so cool and edgy and a bit dark, but it kept me watching the whole time. I was like, I'm intrigued by this. And that's what I loved about Go A as well, that I couldn't stop watching them. And this gave me the same effect. I knew the one who was going to win was going to win. And we'll get to that in a bit. But I loved them and this was, for me, fantastic. I loved it. It was so cool and dynamic and probably was the most interesting act of the night, to be honest. So for me, this is the one they should have picked.
That's us, Phil. Cool, interesting, and dynamic.
Oh, crikey.
I can't believe that Elliot actually agreed with me because I went first. So it's the other way around this time. So the winner, who was the winner?
Justina.
Yeah, Justina with Gaia.
Gaia,
we don't care. It means Earth.
It's Gaia.
Don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not going to qualify. It doesn't matter. Martin, what did you think of this one?
Not going to qualify. Well, I've played this a little while ago because she had a new album out, and I went through the tracks on the album to think which one shall I play on the show, and this was the one that I thought, oh, this is the standout track of the album. So I already played it on the show. So it's going to open the show tomorrow because it was the first one of the weekend to appear. And yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, you heard the studio version, saw the video. and then saw what was on stage as well. And I thought, yeah, this is definitely going to be the winner. Really dynamic. She can probably do with cutting back on the movement a bit, because I think sometimes her vocals suffered a little bit just for a bit of being breathless. But apart from that, engaging, obviously the Polish public know exactly who she is. And yeah, personally, I think this could do pretty well for Poland. I think that this could be a qualifier, and this could be in the top 10. Obviously, we've got loads more to go. Hopefully, some better entries than we've been getting of late, but we shall see. So, but at the moment, this is one of the standouts for me of what we've had so far. So, and yeah, she was obviously enjoying the fact that she won with the, motioning to the crowd and sort of on her knees and everything. So I think we're going to get a much more polished and, wow performance and staging when we get to Basel as well. So yeah, I think for me, the right one won anyway. So.
Brilliant. I forgot to say that she did actually do Eurovision. For those that don't know, she did Eurovision 30 years ago in 1995 with Summer, and she came 18th then. So, Elliot, any chance this is going to beat 18th?
No, to be honest. Listen, let me put it this way. Last year, when they did that internal selection, she submitted a song and then she performed it on New Year's. It's called Witcher Tahalo, and it's very similar to Gaia. Like, there's a point where there's a line which is identical to that song which she's thrown back in there. And she came second by a point behind Luna. And that caused a big outcry because she was supposed to win. So I knew when they brought her back, she was going to win. And you could see from the production she got compared to everyone else, that's the one they did. She's doing a note while twirling, like she's doing some sort of Pilates. I was like, the woman can't dance, bless her. When she was doing that bit, I'm like, oh, you can't dance, can you? It looks like she was doing her gym routine at points. She looks cracking for 52. I'll give her that. But that was also my main issue. There were one or two times where her hair was coming out and she kept doing that and was like, stop worrying about looking so perfect and pretty and focus on performing. For me, the song is a bit of a mess. Even people who know that love it say it's a mess, but I love it. And I think that's an issue. It is just, for me, at times, a bit of noise. I'm not a huge fan of her singing style. I think it's because I wasn't a huge fan of her song Witcher last year. So I think it's just her singing style I just don't vibe with. She's going to love Basel. Her reaction is probably the best one you're going to get all year. But for me, as a competitive song, nah. I think it will scrape through, but I don't see where people are going to vote for this in droves come the final, because we've got some very, very strong songs already, which are going to sweep up a lot of points. And I'm not sure what's going to be left for her, unfortunately.
Brilliant. Phil, do you like an old woman that's been hoisted into the air in a bin bag?
Well, why not? I mean, I think you're right. This was always going to win, wasn't it? It was the one that I think everyone wanted to win, and it was great. I can't knock it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's sort of very dramatic sound. If anything, I would say it's not a million miles away from Ich Komme musically. It's the same sort of. I mean, I'm not saying it's identical, but it's the same sort of dark, sort of dramatic sound to it. And I think in a battle between the two, this would certainly come second. So I don't know how well it's going to do. I think it will qualify, but I don't know.
Brilliant.
Beyond that, I don't know. I'm not sure it'll do brilliantly, maybe mid-table.
Cheers, Phil. Donna, is this a quali?
Oh, I would say it's a quali. And actually, this is one of the first ones that I've actually gone, oh, I like this. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, actually, for me, the whole production that Poland put on this year, I was a lot more impressed with. I did feel for the kids who it was way past their bedtime, who were on the front row in front of the cameras though every time, and one of them was just going slowly falling asleep. Bless him. But yeah, they set this one up for a win, didn't they? I mean, trapeze and all. That's the only bit that bugged me. Why did they even use that? Because it wasn't necessary. She'd already got the body of a goddess squeezed into that lycra catsuit. And she'd done the bandy leg dance and everything. And,
There's a bandy leg dance to come later.
There is. Yeah, she'd lose in that particular knockoff.
Yeah,
But,
but I bet she could beat him in a fight, though.
probably, even in that catsuit. But yeah, no, I thought vocally she was very good, and the song itself gave a lot of drive. It did deserve to win, I think. It was close for me between the top two, but yeah, I'd have loved to send them both, honestly, compared
That's
to what we've
cheating.
currently
You-
got.
You can't do that, Donna. It's cheating.
I know. But no, she'll be good. I think she could even do top 10. I don't think it's a winner at this stage, but I think she could qualify and even get top 10.
I think she's going to be lucky to get top 10 in the first semi-final, Donna.
You never know.
It's stiff competition, the first semi-final.
Mm.
You've got Sweden, you've got Ukraine, Iceland are in there, Estonia are in there.
San Marino.
Oh, God, San Marino are in there. Is Kelly Laurel going back to San Marino, is he?
Oh,
is
I
he?
don't know.
Please, is he?
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
So, yeah, I think it's quite because Croatia's in there and Cyprus are throwing everything at it this year, staging-wise as well. So, yeah, so I think it's quite a difficult semi-final. So that's it. Poland is done and dusted. So now it's time to move on to Estonia. We welcome our panel. Hello, Donna.
Hello. Here comes another one.
So we're going to take a look at Estonia. It's East Lowell, as everybody knows. It's participated 29 times. It's come last once. It's reached the final 10 out of the last 20 attempts since 2004. It's never got nil points, and won once in 2001 with Teddy Padar 2XL, Dave Benton.
Dave
Benton.
Dave Benton, yeah. That was
Everyone loves a
corker.
Dave winning anything. With everybody. So there were 16 participants in the final, with 3 going through to the super final. It was 50% jury and 50% public. So shall we have a look at, I forgot how many I said now, the ones that weren't in the super final.
It would be the 13, yes.
I got through the sheet on the floor when I'd read it.
Here we go.
I won't look back, 'cause what if tomorrow means goodbye? Like there's no tomorrow. I wanna scream, I wanna fall. Party on to end of the world. I have fire in my blood. Now every part of me is frozen. I know eyes don't like a thing. Do I die? Will you die with mine, or it's just the one? Solo anthem, scream my heart out, loud like a whole crowd. Yeah, yeah. Tell me now why I'm the last to know. But I can't turn away, even though I know we'll lose our way. You love me, love me, love.
So in no particular order, that was Marta Lotta, Transin Veal, Minimal Wind, Armageddon, Truly Rand, REM or REM? Don't know? Oh, nobody knows. Well, that's Michael Stipe. Anne Sarlin, Love Me Low, France Tickapoo, Trouble, Gem 98, Psycho, Elisa, The Last to Know, Felin, Solo Anthem, Johanna Elise, Eyes Don't Lie, Ant, Tomorrow Never Comes,
Stereo
Oh, I
Terror.
couldn't even read me writing, and you could tell I couldn't read me
Stereo
writing.
Terror.
Stereo Terror. Party
Hey.
till the end of the world. Yannick, Frozen, and Rapina Jack featuring Kaiser Ling and Dool. So, I don't know. Elliot, just pick one.
And how can you? There's so much going on in that.
No.
Have you not even talked about the top 3 yet? I mean, Estonia is probably like the one country that can vote 16 very different songs, and I'm quite impressed. And I thought it was fantastic. Vocally, I can see why he got second in the televote in the first round, because vocally he was very, very strong. Did like Yannick's song, but vocally did sound a little bit strained, but it's your typical Moreland ballad in the same vein. Anna Celine, I do question how she got third all those years ago, because that did not sound great. And even in the recap, then I was like, Christ, is that how she sounded in 2002? Because I've got a ton of questions. I think Stereo Terror, they were the ones I was really surprised about did so poorly, because I thought this is the sort of bonkers batshit thing Estonia are just going to leap at. And then they came on with the sparkly mask, and I was like, yes, yes, yes to all of this. Is this good? I don't know, but I love it. And I want more of it.
I like how you say sparkly mask. It was a gimp mask. He came out in a big, bejeweled, bejazzled gimp mask. And it was absolutely bloody brilliant.
Whatever he does in the spare time is none of my business, but it wasn't on Estonian TV, I guess, you know.
But Sean's got one of these. Does anyone
I don't
remember
really have
Andrew WK with "Let's Go Party Hard"? Let's go party hard. Yeah, it sounded like that when it kicked off. I thought, oh, I hope we're back in the 90s with Andrew WK. There's one for the youth. Oh my God, what genre was it?
Everything.
Yeah.
Madness. No, I think
It
all
was
of it
brilliant.
was.
I liked how they had Old Kiss as well. Old Kiss and a fly in a gimp mask.
I know. It's kind of a shame that the bloke with the gimp mask, his vocals were a little bit flaky in places.
Your head would be if you were in that.
To be fair, he probably couldn't see where he was going or what he was looking at, but maybe he was interfering with his earpieces so he couldn't hear himself singing. But I mean, apart from that, it was fantastic.
I bet Martin, I bet you like a sparkly gimp mask.
No, not my style, really.
Everyone in Sean's cupboard.
Plain black's fine, Mary. So. But yeah, that one, yeah, it was mainly, as Phil says, the vocals of the guy in the mask was the thing that put me off there. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I can explain why it's second from bottom. Minimal Wind was the shock for me, because I was saying, as they're coming up, I was in the chat room saying, oh, they normally get, this should be good, this should be a jury win. And then she started singing off the entire song. I thought,
yeah.
And I said, or maybe not. And yes, they just ended up going away, seeing that they've been in the jury final before. And I just thought, yeah, because that was my favorite studio track. And the way it was sung was just,
it was,
well off.
Something wasn't right with it.
Or Feeling, whatever the act's name was one of my favorites on the night. She was really up for it. And I thought, apart from one of the top 3 who we shall talk about later, that was probably my favorite of the night, actually. Sort of, you know, well, good camera shots, good vocals, well up for it. And yeah, and then Gem 98 was a bit of a surprise to me. I enjoyed that Psycho with him rolling, crushed by the sound kit or whatever it was, or the camera lights coming right down on him. But yeah, so I was probably liking more of the sort of, you know, wacky zany stuff than probably a lot of the straight ballads weren't very well sung this year, and there was a lot of the ones who were out of the top 3. You know, lots of where the studio tracks sound brilliant, like Johanna Elise sounded amazing in the studio, but she didn't really hit it. And Tulu Rand as well. I'm surprised she was bottom, but again, sort of like the vocals weren't brilliant. So out of all of those were probably my standouts anyway.
Thank you very much, Martin. Donna, is Gem 98 related to Windows 95, man?
No, but I think he's actually related to the upgraded version of Meatloaf. I loved this. They're saying I've been on a bit of a rant just lately about novelty songs, etc. It's not really a novelty song, but I just like the way they involved the camera work for this. You know, it was interesting angles upside down. You know, the random close up in the spot and just spinning like he doesn't care, like a child just let loose. And I just like that freedom that he was allowed to do on stage while still singing reasonably well. It wasn't the best of songs, but I thought he should have done better than 11th place.
No, I hated it. I thought it's mad as a box of frogs. I should like this. Technically, I should like it. No, I just thought no. It absolutely annoyed the hell out of me.
Did it?
Mm.
Oh wow!
I bet you loved it.
Oh, I did. Absolutely loved it.
Me and Phil have watched the song separately.
Yeah, I mean, when that lighting rig came down, and I thought, this is what Tattoo should have been. It should have like come down further and. But yeah, no, it was great. It was great. It was great as well to see some disco. Marta Lotta, was it?
Where's that? Oh yeah.
A bit of a disco beat with a big giant disco ball. That was cool. And yeah, Rapina Jack. That was proper.
Oh
bonkers.
yeah, I put
The
This Is
guy
Why We
with-
Love Easty Lal.
around the campfire, the bloke with the beard and the deep voice. Yeah, there was a lot of hey ho's going on, but yeah, that was fantastic.
I think it was genius to have the campfire there because you automatically imagine that's a campfire song.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
although his vocal just did not cut it. He
No.
couldn't sing at all.
It was really bad. It was really
It
bad.
was
At
really
least-
bad.
At least this was a campfire and not the bin fire that Germany had.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else did you like, Donna?
Oh, there's quite a few. Actually, I gravitated a lot towards the rockier songs as well. So obviously, Stereo Terror, I really liked. It was just a lot of madness that I really enjoyed. And then actually, is it Feeling as well? Her solo anthem, you know?
yeah.
Nothing original, but very Avril Lavigne.
Yes, I put that.
I
I
put-
put Angry
Avril
Avril
Lavigne.
Angry
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne.
I thought Pink from Temu, but
I put Pink as well. So yeah, those two definitely. But I thought she sang it really well. She was all over the stage. It was very energetic. It was very engaging. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And
Well, it had
actually,
death stares as well. Death stares, because
Oh, yeah.
you're a sucker for a death stare, aren't you?
oh, absolutely,
Not a stare as in eyes, as in going up the stairs.
Yeah, yeah.
staircase,
Staircase,
yeah, killer
death
staircase.
Killer staircase.
Well,
Donna
we got
loves
the
them.
Azerbaijani staircase back again. I hadn't borrowed it this time, so you know, he just wanted a little bit of something to elevate. I didn't think it did much for his song though. You know, just added a little extra something to wail on. He had a good vocal, but the song wasn't really there. Yannick was another one that I quite liked though. For saying he was just a boy in a box,
Oh, we've
the
seen it a million
lighting and the
times.
camera work with it actually worked really well. And for the
Well,
majority of the
surprisingly-
time, his vocal was good. You know, the song was pretty average, but he sang it well. So I could see why he got fourth. But I thought that, you know, with the kind of strip light and stuff, it gave it this kind of like sleazy club vibe at times. And yeah.
I was just
But-
surprised it never came out of the box. I thought, you know, that was a classic thing. You start off in the box and you come out. And I sort of half expected somebody to be trying to hammer it open like in Spinal Tap.
Oh, God.
Oh,
For
that
everyone
would have been
who's not
brilliant.
watched Spinal Tap, yeah. For all the youth that are watching this film, can go and watch Spinal Tap. That must be cancelled by now.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it must be.
They're the ones that really sort of stood out to me, actually. We're getting a lot of like soulful vibes as well occasionally this year. A bit of a throwback to sort of like John Lundvik and like Oscar, what's his name? Oscar Sampson. That's the one, isn't it? In 2018.
What, Daz Sampson?
Not
No,
Daz Sampson.
There's our Samson.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Steve Sampson.
Yeah.
Well, I like that, yeah. Steve
Yeah, I
Sampson.
thought France Trouble. I thought his one had that same kind of vibe, same kind of melody going on there. Although he was just very static. I thought he could have done more with it. To be honest,
Franz
Bit of a
Tickapoo,
shame.
great name.
What's that?
Great name, Franz Tickapoo. Tickapoo, was it?
Tickapoo. Yeah, Tickapoo.
Yeah, I thought that one just needed a bit more oomph.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it only really came alive when the backing vocalist came forward, and you actually almost thought, well, Blue have just entered the stage, you know?
I put it sounded very American. You know, that sort of American sound that you sometimes get. But yeah, no, I didn't like it. even though he had the best name ever,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
So they were some of my favourites anyway. So
Shall we have a look at the top 3?
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Võtan ennast lahti, seisan paljalt keset lund. Silmad kinni tihkutan ja täiega hea tund.
Ja se on Tommika! Espresso macchiato.
So we'll start at number 3. And third was Andrei Zevakin featuring Karita with Ma A T-Sind. Let's go to Elliot.
So that was second.
Oh, was it? Have I got the,
Yeah.
I got the wrong way round?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
To be
right.
honest,
so it's
it's not much.
Nolan with colour.
Yeah, it was the lady.
Looking at the gap between them, didn't matter.
Oh, do you know? Oh, I don't care anymore. Tell us what you think about anything, Elliot. We're fine.
Okay, I'll talk about these 2 which didn't win. Anne Marlin, out of these 3, I would have had as the winner. Really liked it. Quite cool. Cool means cold, and I think that reflected in her outfit and staging. It did give that sort of cold vibe, but there's something more about it. Really liked her voice. It was, like I said, I'm on a bit of an electronic vibe at the minute with music-wise, and this kind of spoke to me. It's quite fun's the wrong word. It
Do you
was just
think-
interesting.
Do you think she needed dancers for the type of song that she had? Do you think it would have elevated it more? I know I'm not normally one to go. Let's have more dancers.
I think it wavered on that line, but if you did, it have to be, say, almost like subtle in the background in a sense. Maybe it could have been something, but I think in the same sense, she kind of did carry it off to say, because the lighting worked throughout the work. It was all very thought out and you could see it. And that's what I liked. There was a clear concept which actually worked within itself. Like she clearly thought what would work and what wouldn't. And she really trialed 1 or 2, 3 things. The runners up, now Andrei's done it before. He had quite a cool song. He's become quite a big artist in Estonia. This just sounded angry for the sake of being angry and like, look at my hot girlfriend. I don't know if they are in a relationship, but that's like, here I am and look at my hot girlfriend who's just going to prance around on stage.
You're back on the list, Elliot.
I didn't get it, but the fans were loving it. I was like, why? Just because it's like a loud techno song with a lot of fire and she's in like this one-legged and then this, like, no. Like, I would say it was too much because I don't think that's possible in Estonia. But like I said, it didn't fit with their look, their energy as performers off stage or anything. I was just like, you two are just almost like acting hot because you know you are, and then that just annoyed me. I was just annoyed by it all.
You are
it just didn't make sense.
absolutely so wrong. You're that far wrong. You might really be right. You're so wrong. It was interesting staging, interesting camera work. I bloody love the Rocky Trip hot noise. It stood out by an absolute mile. This should have won by a mile. And Martin, I can see Martin nodding away, agreeing with me. You agree, don't you, Martin?
I'm sorry, it's all sort of going in and out at the moment, so I'll just say about the first, second, and third. So apologies if I'm not going to answer your question at all. Anne Mullen, your query about should it have had somebody else on the stage? She could have had the entire cast of Love, Love, Peace, Peace behind her.
Oh, we just lost Martin.
I think I might have done that with my mind.
Yeah.
Let's go to Donna. Donna, we all know who should have won.
Definitely not the winner.
It was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
The second one, actually, yeah, I I really enjoyed. Although I like the simplicity of the ladies' song. Just the simple sort of like cool tones, then the window in the middle, and her just singing it very sultrily and gently with no fanfare whatsoever. And it was just nice to see, because with all the others, we've got, all the extra effects, the wind machine and this, that. And it was nice to see something simply done. That's what I think made it stand out. And her vocal as well was very solid throughout. The cool tones, really, really nice. And then you've got Bonkers after that, haven't you? Just... What was their professions again? I was like, seriously? She's a hairdresser who's never sung. I'm like,
I'm shocked.
She obviously, singing in the hairdressers while he was getting his hair cut, and went, you know what? I'll have you on stage. How do these things work? I'll never know. But, her voice was a nice calming contrast to his angry rah. And although there was a little bit of an effect there, I think in this case it worked, because it was like full on Fedez turned up to 11, for those who don't really watch San Remo, that's going to go nowhere. But yeah, I like, they threw everything at this, didn't they? All the fire, all the lighting effects, bit of thunder in there, even like, camera stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is going to go well. And I like the contrast between the two of them.
Yeah.
And there's many times we've seen duets where there's no chemistry whatsoever. And at least I felt there was something here. Even in the way the camera was trying to get in between them so you could see both faces. That's not always the easiest to do when you've got a mic. So yeah, a lot of the dynamics worked for me in that one. So yeah, that would have been my winner, I think.
I think, yeah, definitely my winner. Phil, was it your winner?
Kind of, yeah. It was the most interesting one of them, I think. It was bonkers, but there was something about it. I don't know. It was very angry, very shouty, and then she sort of singing. There was such a contrast. I thought it really worked well.
It's like what's going on in my head all the time. It's like the soft voice and the angry voice just fighting each other. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I thought Anne Marlin was okay. I just thought that it was a bit stoppy and starty in places. You get like a nice dance beat and then it'd stop, and then come back again. It was okay, but yeah, he was definitely third out of the three, I think.
Go on, Martin, have another go.
Yes, hopefully it works. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Amelin, I think on her personally on her own, she carried it well, and I think it worked really well with just the focus on her. She shows she can sing brilliantly, and she just happened to be in a year where the winner was a runaway winner, really. But yeah, did all right for third. And I must admit, Elliot saying that Andrei Severkin is popular would maybe make me think why he got into the super final, because it was full on. You couldn't. The intensity was amazing. There's lots of pyro, screamy, and yeah, it's funny you're saying about that. She's what do you say? Hairdresser that she's pulled. Yeah, wasn't that Halo with Lumix and Pia Maria being the makeup artist or something? So there you go. So we got a third one to come. Maybe what's that? UK artist? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway,
never say never, Martin.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yes, I don't know what profession she'd be. A chef, maybe, and somebody cooking just some in a cafe.
I don't know.
You've got that on your bingo card. Cross it off now.
Yeah. Do they need a lazy housewife that can't really be bothered?
I could never comment on such a thing. But yeah, I think this year it's immaterial who was in the super final with the winner. So yeah, why not? I think Amelin, I preferred out the two, but it didn't really make any difference, did it? Really?
No. So mentioning the winner, we will move on to the winner, who was Tommy Cash with Espresso Macchiato. Have I got my scores right? Did he only win by 1 point?
Well, in the jury, or
I don't know. I think mine's combined, is it? I don't know.
They haven't released the first round of voting yet.
Oh,
I just had that. He may have just he would have won it only by a mark or so. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
when the jury got 8 marks. So
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, the thing that I found today on the Tinterweb said that he had 16 points. The second place had 15 and the third had 13. So I don't know. We'll just go with that. We'll just make it up. So it turns out Tommy Cash is Karia's mate. They did a song together. Karia was there with his little T-shirt going, "Oh, look, I'm Karia," which is all very nice. Now, are you ready, panel? Here's this year's second place overall in the grand final, because it has not got the charisma of a cha-cha-cha or a rim tim taggy dim, and that is the problem with it. I think it's gimmicky for gimmick's sake, and whereas cha-cha-cha was all good and it had a bit of meat to its bones and we could have a dance and chant along, this is more Windows 98, man. This is
98.
Windows 98. I've upgraded him.
Are you sure it's not Windows Vista just for fun?
Yeah, that's what it'll be next year. So Windows 95, man. I think it's more in that sort of category of daft song rather than a daft song that could potentially win Eurovision. But it's not my favourite of the night. I think Estonia have missed a trick here, definitely, without a doubt. Donna, have they missed a trick? Is this going to be the new second place sort of song?
It's not a patch on Carrier. I'm sorry. Carrier's song was a song. And although I famously came out and said, "Nah, I don't like that" originally, and now I've been to see him how many times in concert? I'm allowed to change my mind. You know, he had the gimmicky staging, yes, to sort of give it the sell, but the song, this just isn't it. It's not a patch on what Carrier performed before, and he's got a lot of gimmick in the performance with the bandy legs and getting the, to be lifted like a Strictly dancer and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, Carrier didn't need that.
No,
Not
I think that was
necessarily.
Marilyn Monroe, sort of how they lifted him up and then above, and the old films where they used to circle round and things like that. Whereas Cardia just he just rode a human centipede.
And why not? But yeah, I can't see this doing anywhere near as well. It will qualify. I'm pretty certain of that. But it's not one that you kind of want to go back to and listen either, I don't think. The novelty wears off quite quick. But so yeah, I think it'll do well initially. And that's what you kind of need to catch people on the night, won't it? You only hear it the once, etc. So we'll see. It's still going to have a wow factor, but I don't think it'll do as well as some people think it will.
Yeah, it's not got the hook. I can't even remember how the tune sort of goes now. Oh, of course you did, yeah.
And of course you've got the
Phil's going to get it tattooed on his arse or something.
I have not. No, it's fun. It's a good laugh. I mean, one of the things that I have a bit of a bugbear about is people accuse songs of being novelty songs when they're a bit quirky or unusual. But this is a novelty song.
Yeah.
This is a novelty
You
song.
might as well be singing Agadoo.
A Windows 95 Man was a novelty song. This is a novelty song as well.
Are we agreeing that it's in the same category?
Well, I still like it, though. It's a good laugh. It's got a dance.
Oh, I can't wait to see you do the dance at the Euro Club. I am so videoing that. It will be on ESC Fan TV.
I don't know. It's good. It's a good laugh. It's not going to win anything, but we all need a bit of cheering up, don't we? And I don't think the Italians are going to like it, though.
No, I don't really. I think as in our Sanremo show, if you've not already seen it, go see it.
It is available now to watch on YouTube.
Yeah. From the inside camps, they're not convinced that it'll go down well. Especially because you're mentioning food and drink there. That's a big no-no with Italians.
He might as well be stomping on a pizza as he's doing it.
Yeah.
Or
put pineapple.
Pineapple on it, yeah.
Then stomp on it.
And then stomp on it.
But at least we've got one song partly in Italian, because we don't know who Italy are going to send yet, do
Well,
we?
it'll still be all in Italian.
Oh, yeah, but we don't know which one yet.
One of the ones that didn't win, probably, because the winner might not go. Anyway, Martin, do you love it or do you hate it?
It made me smile. That's the main thing. I was sort of laughing all the way through it. It was the way he was at the front, and I wasn't really sure what the security guards were going to actually do. And when they all started dancing, I just thought, yeah, this is a fun routine. It's probably going to, it's going to get through to the final because it's a fun routine. It's 100% televote, so therefore I think people remember it on the night and go, what was that guy? Oh yeah, the guy with moustache singing Italian with the coffee and the security guards. Yeah, bung him a vote. Final, don't know. It might do as well as last year's, or it might do a bit better. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not for listening to it in the studio. It's not really anything. It needs the visuals. It needs the act, and of course, who's to know that that's going to be what we're going to get? It's not like Melody Festival, and where they almost have it set in stone in Sweden, and it goes to Eurovision. We might have something totally different. He might have something else up his sleeve. Might have Karia on stage, for instance. There's a possibility. We don't know. I enjoyed it, and I think, to be honest, out the whole list of SDLL this year, it's not a big surprise. No matter how, he was famous anyway, but even comparing it to what we had, I think it was pretty obvious it was going to win.
He was famous beforehand because I saw Cardia last year. And he turned up to do his song with Cardi. So I've already seen him live anyway. So there. So I think, Elliot, that he's going to drag Cardi all around Europe with him as his little sidekick as they do a grand tour of every bloody where. Do you think that's what he's going to do? And if he does do that, is it going to be beneficial? Or the Cardi fans going to vote for him?
I think that will definitely happen. The fact he was in the green room with him that night, and he's actually openly said in his winners' press conference, Karia talking about his experience in Liverpool influenced his decision to compete in SDLL. It was obvious he was going to win. The names came out because, like you said, huge name in Estonia. And I went, well, he's won. Doesn't matter what he sends. And this proves it, because how the living fuck did this win a jury vote as well? He didn't hit a single bloody note in that performance. He sounded like he had something stuck in his throat.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna hold back on this. This is honestly one of the worst songs I've heard in Eurovision in the last few years. This is dire.
I'm glad I waited to laugh, really.
Yeah, no, sorry. But I was like, okay, he's won. I'll watch it. Maybe he sings it okay. Nope. Oh, the vocal was non-existent. And it's not even a hard song to sing. There's no range in it. It's not like he's trying for anything big. He's got no bones in his body. And, it's quirky. It's fun. And I'm all for a quirky kitsch song. We've seen it. But there's got to be something more than I'm being funny for the sake of funny. It borders a piss take. I can see a few influences almost like Charlie Chaplin and his on stage persona and all this sort of stuff. But it just, like I said, it just aggravates me. It just annoys me. And I think, he's probably going to try and drag Cowley around with him. But I think it's going to backfire because if Cowley is with him at every single point, it's going to be like, well, who are you? Who's Tommy Cash? Or are you just the sidekick to Cowley? And let's be honest.
That's Haria is a sidekick to Cowley.
But this is the issue as well. Italy's voting in the semi-final. They're not going to touch this song.
No.
Latvia and Lithuania aren't in this semi-final, so that's two mates gone. Finland aren't even in the semi-final, so the bulk of Cowley's fans can't vote for him. I honestly think this is going to be a struggle to qualify because although, yes, it's kitsch and it's fun and all these other things, this is going to sound really mean. There's nothing redeeming in a positive sense about this song to me. At least with Baby Lasagna, he could sing and he was a showman. Cowley wasn't the best vocalist, no, but he could still sing and he was a bloody good performer. Like I said, Donaldson, I wasn't the biggest fan of Cha 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 until I saw UMK and I went, that works. That is stellar. This, like I said, it just feels like a parody of a song. And it feels like we've gone, as someone said, 2008. And it does. It feels like we've gone back in time with this song. And I think Estonia have been blindsided by, it's a big name that will sort it all. No, he might be big in Estonia, but I don't see this appealing outside the masses. Like even the UK can't vote for this. And then, the UK with their drunk would go, yeah, sure. They can't even save this. So
I'd like to interject there with Marky Mark 2025 has written, drunk people will vote for this. No, I won't.
No, they won't. I don't see, I'm going to be honest, I know only 5 songs are being dropped from that first semi-final. I don't see this advancing. Albania stronger, Slovenia stronger, Belgium stronger. I don't see this in the final. And if it does make the final, it's coming dead last in that jury vote. I'm sorry. Like, I don't see the appeal in it whatsoever. I wish I did. I wish I got what people loved in this song. You know, the tune is a bit catchy, but it's that very stereotypical Italian Charleston theme. So it is a bit of an earworm. But you just see the performance and hear his voice. I'm just like, yeah, no. Like, what are you singing? I'm sweating because I'm running from the Ammaffiato. Don't be so depressed. Like, what? You're just saying words for the fucking sake of it now. And you're almost like mocking depression, which is that insulting. But no. I knew he was going to win.
I'm with Elliot again. Yeah, I'm with Elliot again.
I think the biggest bugbear for me is this is such a detachment from what he normally does. Like his song with Carolina was like a rock song. It's such a detachment from what he normally does. Like he is a rapper. So why didn't he do like a rap song? This is such a detachment from what he normally does. And it feels like he has to do a certain gimmick. Whereas we saw he could have sang the phone book and won because of his stature in Estonia. So I think he's done himself a disservice by not doing what is quintessentially Tommy Cash. Because if people now go to a concert, you're not going to get 4 or 5 songs like Espresso Macchiato. You're not. Whereas Carolina, that is his discography. That is, well, Baby Lasagna is almost like a bit blues. It's a bit weird. But a lot of these artists now, it's in line with what they do, like Bambi Thug. Doomsday Blue is in line with everything they do. This is an outlier. And I think that's the biggest bugbear for me. So no, not a fan of this. I don't know if any song will be worse than this for me this year, to be honest. Estonia, I normally love you in Eurovision, but you've missed the mark here. I'm sorry. Like, stop picking novelty kitsch songs for the sake of it. You've got such strong singers.
Yeah,
Pick
you
one
need
of
to
them
stop
next
that.
year.
Oh, shh.
Sorry, rant over. I'll go back to
I was just going to say, I think, you know, you can compare it to Kari and Baby Lasagna, but both of those songs were actually about something. You know, Cha 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 was about going out and getting drunk and relieving the stress of the week and having a night out. Baby Lasagna, that was about
doilies.
No, it was about people leaving the country and getting a job in the big city and stepping out, you know. Whereas this is just really just taking the mick out of Italians, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, you know, if that's what you're into,
no, you don't want to start playing that game.
But
you won't win against the Italians.
Yeah.
I do want to watch the feed from Rai when he walks on stage because they're both thinking that semi-final. They have to broadcast the whole semi-final, and I would love to see what the commentators say on it.
on one last thing, going off piece just slightly. Did anyone watch it right from the beginning? Did you see 5 minutes to pull up? Did you see their
as mushrooms and shrubs?
So I wasn't quite sure what I was watching. It was
one was a swamp monster, one was a mushroom, and one was a flower, and then there were ones that were just in like body stockings that were waving the legs about. I thought I was having an episode when I saw that. That is the best opening to a national final that I've ever seen in my life, ever.
I actually thought I'd got the wrong kind of coffee for a minute there.
I want to sit in a production meeting at ERR because the stuff they come out with every year.
I can see him going, do you know what? I've got a brilliant idea. No, you haven't.
I think they spin a wheel and go, that. And like,
I want Winnie Pooh back.
Winnie Pooh.
Winnie Pooh with the drummer upside down, spinning around and around. Don't even remember that one.
At this rate, they will be back and they'll win next year.
They'll be back next year, Phil. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Singing about chips, peas, and gravy or something. I don't know. On that bombshell, that's it. That's Estonia done and dusted. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel. Still join in the chat. I do answer all the messages, believe it or not, whether they're good or bad. And if they're bad, I just normally go, oh, thanks for watching. We really do appreciate it. And don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, on Mastodon, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram.
Twitter X.
Oh, God, I missed one on Twitter X as well. Don't forget, you can catch Martin tomorrow night on his radio show, Let Me Be the One. How do they tune into that, Martin?
Well, probably easiest for everybody outside of the Bradley Stoke area, which will be almost everybody that's watching this.
Yes.
Bradley Stoke radio.com/live at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time, and then it's on for 2 hours.
There we go. So until the next time, I'm going to say goodbye to Donna.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll see you again very soon.
Yeah. And thank you very much, Elliot.
Bye, one and all. This has been a great laugh. Thank you. I will see you next time.
And an extra special thank you to the super sub of the night, Martin. Thank you very much, Martin.
Not a problem. Probably see you next year.
We'll see you when we see you. Oh, we're back on Saturday with
Iceland?
no, not Saturday. What's
No,
it
Saturday's
called?
Melfest, isn't it?
Melfest, that's it.
Melfest, yes.
Stu's probably going to be here with Melfest. I don't know. I don't get involved in that sort of stuff. But it's straight after the show, so come and watch it. And on Sunday, it's Iceland. So until then, it's bye.
Bye.